Now let us solve one more problem meant for your JEE Main and Advanced, and we'll be discussing a general case. And what the problem is about, under a constant power, if power is constant, how distance depends on velocity. So it is a general case. So it is a general case. And what is given is in the problem, there is a constant power P. P is constant, is applied to a particle of mass m. The distance, what is the distance traveled by the particle when its velocity increases from v1 to v2? So when a constant power is applied to a mass, what distance it travels when the initial velocity is v1 and the final velocity is v2. So it's a very general question. I just explained in the previous video that your power is equal to force times velocity, and it is given force times velocity is constant, means the power is constant. So what is interesting is the force can be written as mass into acceleration, and I keep v as such. So that is your power. Now how to manage it? Acceleration is a dv over dt times v. Let me write it here. Now what do? I have to change this. dv over ds multiplied by ds over dt. It remains same thing as dv by dt. I multiplied with ds and I divided by with ds. So this part becomes your velocity. This velocity remains as such. So when so now this becomes, this is velocity, this again velocity, v square. So is equal to mv square dv by ds. Now I began with here, that is power is same thing as this. Now to integrate, bring this ds to the left hand side, because power is constant. When we integrate, p will be taken out. So p ds is equal to mv square dv. p ds is equal to mv square dv. The limit of integration for v is given, that from v1 to v2. So when we integrate the right hand side, the limit will be from v1 to v2, and power is constant, it will be taken out of the integration. So this implies integration of mv square dv is integration of p ds. Now, so what do? I keep the limit from 0 to s here, and I keep the limit from here v1 to v2. So m is a constant taken out. So we are left with integration of v square dv from v1 to v2. So that since power is a constant taken out, integration of ds from 0 to s. So this becomes m times integration of this will be v cube over 3, its value from v1 to v2, and integration of s will be ds will be s, its value from 0 to displacement s. So this is the upper limit, this is the lower limit. Let me do it here only instead of shifting the page. So this becomes m times v2 cube v2 cube over 3 minus m times v1 cube over 3 is equal to ps. S minus 0s. So we are interested to find S. So keep S on one side and P comes to the left hand side. It was multiplied, so it will be divided. So M over 3P, M over 3 is taken common. So we are left with V2 cube minus V1 cube. So the displacement is M over 3P times V2 cube over V1 cube. So that is the answer. That is V2 cube over V1 cube. That is this one. That is this one, right? So that is all about for this video. Then let me do one more.